Hello everyone, I'm your host, Beaver, and I want to take this moment to welcome you all to the first season of Trails of Survival. This project originally came about because the owl loves building megastructures in 7 Days to Die. So a game was created to showcase these builds in a more purposeful way, creating a game within a game, so to speak. The owl is the administrator of this project. A few important things about this project need to first be mentioned. To start, this first season of Trails of Survival is an experiment, and mainly created as a trial run, as the players aren't playing for any prize money. With a project like this comes a lot of unpredictability and unforeseen issues. A first run, without being too serious or having high stakes, was necessary to work out many of the fine details for a future season. Both the owl and the players are experiencing this season for the first time, and so, needless to say, a lot of problems did arise. As a result, a few important changes had to be made mid-project, and I'll be sure to let you guys know the changes when they happen. This game is mostly created for around 6 players, but for the sake of keeping things simple the first time with only one administrator, only 3 are participating in Season 1. Any more players would have been too difficult to manage for one single admin, so for the sake of simplicity, and to be able to better keep track of the gameplay, 3 players makes this much more manageable. Whilst using only 3 players makes a first run possible to manage by one single admin, it also takes a little away from the possible gameplay strategies contestants could have used if there were more players. So you, the viewer, should try to take a mental note of this fact when viewing this first season, and also try to learn from the mistakes of these 3 players. Owls mentioned that if there is a second season, there will certainly be more players and admins involved. Now, with that information out of the way, allow me to provide some information on our 3 contestants: Glass Sandwich, Whiskey, and Lotus. There is a big experience gap in 7 Days to Die between Glass Sandwich and the other 2. While Glass is starting this game with around 6,000 plus hours of overall experience in the actual game of 7 Days to Die, Whiskey and Lotus don't even have 300 hours combined. Whiskey has around 125 hours, whilst Lotus has even less than her, with no more than 75 hours. This is an experimental season, and as a part of that, it's a good opportunity to see how much actual 7 Days to Die experience matters, and how much future players can learn from the mistakes of these 3 contestants, and what strategies develop to even the playing field between less experienced and more experienced players. With that said, however, both Whiskey and Lotus are experienced gamers, having played many different types of games over the years, and remaining active gamers to this day. So it is still important to note that their hours only reflect their experience in 7 Days to Die, and not their overall experience in gaming. There is a big possibility that mixing different experience level players in a future season could occur again. Glass's advantage going into this game is his experience in 7 Days to Die. This is of course a big deal, because he will know all of the ins and outs of 7 Days to Die in order to make his character stronger and faster. But he has no experience in Trails of Survival, and going into this game, he better have a strategy to win in mind. His experience in 7 Days to Die could matter a lot less if he makes certain wrong decisions. Anything is possible in this game. It should be mentioned that Lotus's computer was not well optimized at the time of recording, which led to many crashes and issues. This is something to keep in mind throughout the season, as it plays a critical role in Lotus's overall performance. Now, let's discuss the game itself and how it works. Trails of Survival consists of 2 major phases: the Alliance phase, followed by the Survival phase. In the Alliance phase, The game starts out in Harmony stage on day 1, as you can see here on screen. In this first stage, all players are allied within 7 days to die. That means that during this stage, they are not able to kill each other, so no friendly fire at all. In addition, since they're allied, they will also be able to track each other on their maps, so there is no hiding from each other. They will have to find other ways to betray each other and give themselves an upper hand, as killing other players is simply not an option here. This is the stage where they can be sure a death by other players cannot occur, and can put more focus onto developing their characters, or work on progressing whatever strategy they have. Whether there are just 3 or 10 players in a season, all players in this stage are automatically in the alliance team and unable to kill each other. There's also the pyramid. This is an official structure built by Owl, and the pyramid is always the curfew zone of the alliance team. A curfew zone is where the admin teleports each player to when the stage is over. You might have also noticed the red circle with CAD written inside. CAD is short for Combined Alliance Deaths. Every time a player who's in the alliance team dies, CAD will go up by 1. When the CAD reaches 50, the game then goes into the survival phase. So 50 combined deaths marks the end of the alliance phase. The CAD is extremely important to the players. If they go into the survival phase when they aren't ready, it could be a very hard road ahead for them. So it's a strategic fine line when it's best for a player to go into the survival phase. A weaker player could easily ruin the plans of a strong player if they aren't able to avoid deaths. The CAD marks the biggest turning point for the game and should not be taken lightly. Once Harmony stage is over, the in-game time stops, and the players go to compete in the challenge. Challenges are outside of normal gameplay, and that is why time stops when they are competing in one. Each challenge will have its own set of rules. Deaths that occur in challenges don't contribute to the CAD, as players are not in any alliance team and are playing individually. This is also the only time players can choose to play any of the perks that they possess, and I'll get to perks and how they work soon. Once the winner of the challenge is determined, their character will gain 10 levels. This is a big reward, as it takes a lot of time and work to earn 10 levels in any of the actual game stages organically. So, a player who wins challenges will give themselves a huge advantage throughout the game by constantly making their character stronger, significantly faster than the other players. In addition to gaining 10 levels for winning the challenge, the winner also chooses the outcast for the next game stage. Once the challenge is over, the other players will spend a few minutes on the challenge platform and plead their case to the winner so that he or she can pick the outcast. After the outcast is chosen, the admin officially ends the challenge, and the players go to their curfew zones, and Outcast stage begins. In Outcast stage, time continues where it stopped, and we see now that it is the start of day 2. And here we can see that CAD is back on for any of the players who are back in the Alliance team, and it's off for the one player chosen to be the Outcast. This means that if the Outcast dies, their deaths will not contribute to CAD. The Outcast and the Alliance team can kill each other, so an aggressive Outcast could potentially go after the Alliance team to speed up the CAD and push the game to the survival phase faster. On the flip side, the Alliance could see this as an opportunity to put some deaths on the Outcast. If the Outcast happens to be a strong player and a big threat, this could be an opportunity for multiple players to target just one. The catch here, however, is since they can kill each other, they cannot track each other on their maps and compasses. This, of course, makes any plans for the other side more difficult to achieve. And an Outcast that doesn't want to be found probably will do their best to stay low-key until the stage is over. And again, here we see that the pyramid is the official curfew zone for the Alliance team. So, again, the Alliance team must be in the pyramid by the end of the stage, or the admin will teleport them there when the time is up. For the Outcast, they get their own individual Outcast curfew platform. While the pyramid will always be in the same location, the platforms for the outcasts will always be in a different location. Once the day is over, the outcast rejoins the alliance team, and the game goes back to the harmony stage, where it's now day 3. This process will repeat over and over until CAD hits 50, and once that happens, the game goes into the second phase, the survival phase. Once the game has entered survival phase, harmony and outcast stages are no longer a thing, and there will only be one game stage from here on out, called Desolation Stage. In this stage, everyone is on their own and they're playing individually. They can kill each other and they can't track one another anymore. And since there is no longer an alliance team, the pyramid is no longer a curfew zone. Instead, each player gets their own individual curfew platform. New perks can also no longer be found in the Desolation Stage. Both the red and yellow markers we have been seeing in the Harmony Stage and Outcast Stage can no longer be found in the Desolation Stage. And again, I'll get to perks and how they work soon. And here again, the stage goes on for a full game day. Once the day is over, the admin will teleport each player to their individual curfew platforms, where they then go to compete in a challenge again. Once again, time will stop when players are in a challenge, as they are outside of the normal stage of gameplay. Here again, the winner of the challenge gets 10 character levels, but this time, since Outcast Stage is no longer a thing, instead of choosing an outcast, the challenge winner chooses one of the other players to wear a specific outfit that provides no protection and makes them very visible. They must wear the outfit for the entire duration of the Desolation Stage, and they are not allowed to wear any armor or any other clothing. Once that player is chosen by the winner, they go back to their curfew zones and Desolation Stage continues. This process repeats until 10 total challenges have been completed, and they go back to the Desolation Stage for one last time after Challenge 10. Once the last Desolation is completed, the player with the least amount of individual deaths wins the game. However, there is an even more rewarding way to win, which is to become the last player standing. This means eliminating all other players by the end of the final Desolation Stage. If there is one other player still standing by the end of the game, then the winner is determined by who has the fewest number of total individual deaths. In a future season, there is going to be a big difference in the prize pool between a player winning by eliminating all others or a player having the fewest number of deaths. Being the last player standing is, of course, an extremely difficult feat to achieve. With a significantly larger prize pool, we don't know if that would be possible. But if someone does manage it, they will go into the list of legends, a group of those who won by being the last player standing. 100 individual deaths marks the end of a player's journey in Trails of Survival, and they are eliminated from the game. It should be mentioned that the rules in the 3 game stages, Harmony, Outcast, and Desolation, are far and few between. With the exception of not being allowed to break any curfew zones, the players are allowed to do whatever they want, including breaking anything in the game. No chests or items are in any way protected. The pyramid is empty, so whatever chest is put there by a player is not protected from other players. So it wouldn't be advised to store your important items in the pyramid. Again, the pyramid is only a curfew teleport zone. Players don't have to be honest to each other, and they're allowed to seize whatever opportunity that could help them advance in the game. The contestants are spawning into the server for the very first time. They're all level 1, and they are spawning in 3 different random locations. And again, as a reminder, since they're starting in the Harmony stage, they are able to see each other's locations on their maps. This is the map of the entire world the contestants will be playing in. As it zooms in, we can see the pyramid is located approximately in the middle of the map. This is quite a large world these 3 players will be surviving in, and if they want to find a lot of perks, they will need to cover most of this world, as all of the perks and supplies are spread throughout. And speaking of perks and supplies, let's quickly also explain those, and we'll get the show going. In Trails of Survival, perks are extremely powerful and come in a variety of powers and advantages. Some perks might only help the person it's played for, while other perks could help everyone in the game. Perks are meant to be played strategically and with caution. Some calculation should be made for both the long-term and short-term outcomes of a perk. Using one without planning could also have outcomes that might not be the best for the player. As you can see here, there is a chest on the right, and the clue is to the left. Perks will always be found in a chest just like this one. If players come across other types of chests, it won't be a perk chest. Some chests that look like this might also not contain a perk. These are just random too, from the server itself. Official perk chests will only open with the code 799. So, if a player comes across a chest like this that requires a code to be opened, it's a perk chest, as random chests in 7 Days to Die never require a code to open. The code for all perk chests will always be 799. The clues to each official chest will always look like this, always with a red frame and a sign with a clue on it. Perks cannot be played when they are found, so when you see a player finding one, that does not mean it's activated. They have to wait until a challenge to be able to activate one. They can only be played on the official challenge platform before the start of a challenge itself. If a player doesn't use one before the start of a challenge, they can still choose to play it at any time in a future challenge. They can only be played once. After one is used, the admin may or may not put that perk back into play to be found again in a new location. Again, it's important to stress that perks can only be played on the challenge platform. They cannot be put into effect immediately after they're found. Perks are always admin confirmed. Basically, when the player finds them, it is the admin who keeps track of every perk found, and the use of one by a player must be first confirmed by the admin. The rule with the red clues, as we can see here, is that the chest will always be within a 300-meter radius from the red marker. So if a player finds the clue to a chest, they can be sure the chest itself will never be further away than 300 meters. To give you a visual example, here is a top view of an entire large town in the game. The red marker is in the middle, and the perk chest will always be within this circle. This is quite a large area, as there are lots of large buildings that could easily fit inside 300 meters. It's nearly the size of the entire large town, so finding a perk definitely requires some work. But players could also get lucky and randomly come across an actual chest. But generally without the clue, finding a perk becomes significantly more difficult. For the yellow supply marker and supply chest, it's pretty much the same idea as the perk chest and the marker. Only this time, the marker is larger and in yellow. The chests will always look like these, and the code to all official supply chests will be 199. Unlike perks, these are not admin confirmed. They're just items to help make life a little easier. These chests will usually contain high-quality stuff, like guns, ammo, building supplies, and more. Supply chests are less important than perks, and so they'll be a bit easier to find, both in terms of having a larger clue marker and chest. But also, as we can see here, the radius from the marker will only be 200 meters. It's still a large area, just not as large as the area for perks. These items will not be tracked by the admin or replaced, so if a player finds a chest but loses the items, it's on them. These are items to make life easier for a player, so if there are items that are still valuable to them, they need to hide them someplace safe. If they lose it or get their stuff stolen, it will be completely on the player. As mentioned before, rules during the stages are very limited, and players are free to play as they see fit. And while they are making their way towards the pyramid after spawning in for the first time, they are going to be making a lot of stops on the way, and begin working on building up their character skills immediately. Without any further ado, it's time to get this show started. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Beaver, and this is Trails of Survival.
them died already?
Oh no.
I'm
not a
doing
good
a
start.
good job as an ally.
Oh no! I had to make Whiskey feel better, you know?
Thank you.
Alright, I think I've got a feel for just how the difficulty's running here.
Finally a zombie I can handle. One that has no legs.
Super thirsty.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So, team,
Hey,
I just
hey.
found something for everyone.
Oh, you did? What'd you find?
Yeah. I found the baseball bat. So it grants everyone access to the web map.
Awesome.
Cool.
Wow.
I definitely think glass would be the biggest threat to me, especially looking at the number of deaths that we have. But at the moment, I don't have too much up my sleeve other than I'm prepping on my own. I know that Glass is really good at playing the game in general, so it'll be challenging to beat him in this game, but we'll see. At the moment, nothing planned other than work on my own and prep for whatever comes next.
Glass, he's definitely going to be the strongest player. So I'm going to have to team up with Whiskey in order to take Glass out. I hope she sees my ways. I will convince her to team up with me, because I think she knows it's in her best interest. I don't think there's any way that either of us alone can beat Glass at this game.
I think Lotus is just too underskilled to be able to formulate a plan against me. He could be cooking something up, but no, I'm not scared of him. Definitely Whiskey's a bigger threat. I don't want her to see how I play just yet. I'm just too good at this game, you know? Too many hours invested. I don't think they stand a chance. We're gonna see.
To your right.
Well, hey.
You don't have any weapons?
Guns?
Here.
Boy, you got something? Oh, thank you. Hey, Whiskey, come over here.
Give me 1 sec.
Oh! Oh no!
Well, hello there.
Just in time. Man, he's ready.
I'm just eating popcorn here.
Is this a standoff?
Pretty much.
No, we're a team. Here, Lotus. Take this.
Oh, thank you. Nice glass.
Are you still trying to look for me, Lotus?
I know where you're at.
So I can drop this perk item.
Oh, you found it, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd you find it? In the storage?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No! What killed you?
Oh, zombie. Coming down.
I'm gonna die! Lotus, you killed me!
I killed.
You brought all the zombies! I'm starting to think that you're working against me.
Oh no, I'm dying too.
What are you guys doing?
I didn't know where I was going. I fell through on top of your head.
No! I'm about to die.
Stay alive, stay alive.
One health.
I'll come save you. I die again.
No! I think I'm lagging.
What you doing, Lotus? It's getting late. Think we should head over there?
I don't know. Do you want to, or you want to kill some more stuff?
Well, let's head to the pyramid now.
Okay.
I was in a house, and I stumbled across the chest that had the iron dart in it, which is one of the perks. And I didn't tell anybody, I didn't tell them, so Whiskey and Lotus didn't know. Fast forward a few minutes, they were looking for a different perk. I don't know which one, but I know that the clue was storage, because before Lotus broke the sign, he said, "Oh, hey, Glass." And I saw what the sign said. So, I knew that he was up to something already, because he wasn't offering to help me. He was already being shady. So, I knew that he was trying to distance himself from me. I don't know about Whiskey, though. So, they were going to go look for that perk, and they didn't even tell me that they were going to go look for it, but I knew. And just by accident, I mentioned that I found a perk, and they assumed it was the perk they were looking for. So I just rolled with it, rolled with the punch. And so they quit looking for it because they thought I found it.
The base looks good.
Oh, wow. That's a big pyramid.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, your host Beaver, and Challenge 1 is right around the corner. But first, we can see the scoreboard for up to this point. The players have decided to stay inside the pyramid until the end of the stage, since they aren't that strong yet and nighttime is still dangerous for them. We can see from the scoreboard that Whiskey and Glass are not that far from each other, with both players having a perk each and only being 2 levels apart, while Lotus is definitely having a harder time keeping up with them. But there's still a long way to go, so anything could change. In the Harmony stage, we saw both Whiskey and Glass find a perk each before finding any of the actual clues. They were lucky and randomly stumbled upon a perk chest. When Lotus broke the perk clue storage, Glass Sandwich did not know that the perk he found was in fact for the same clue. He assumed that storage was a clue to a different perk. As the Harmony stage comes to an end, the time and day is now officially paused. We can see the players here make their way to the challenge area. And with that, I'll see you all very shortly in our first challenge. ladies and gentlemen, the players have been teleported and have placed a bedroll on the platform. For those of you unfamiliar with 7 Days to Die, when a bedroll is placed by a player, it will enable that player to respawn back on the bedroll if they die. If they don't place a bedroll before they die, they will end up spawning in a random place somewhat far away from where they died. Placing a bedroll on the platform ensures that, in case of a death, they will always spawn back here. You'll also notice that each player has their own storage chest under their sign. These are password protected, so that only the owner of the chest can open them. The admin has provided them with their individual passwords in private. These chests are primarily for official challenge items, if any, but also can be used as storage for the players and perk placement. When a player decides to play a perk, they put it in their chest. With that out of the way, let's get into this first challenge. This challenge contains 2 phases. For the first phase, players will start on a narrow track where they immediately come across their first jump. They then continue and make it through an area where they have to be careful not to touch any of the trigger plates on the sides. Once through that area, they continue on the track and jump over a spinning blade trap and then over a trigger plate that shoots darts from the side. There's another tricky jump and then a hard right, where they have to jump on the yellow squares to avoid touching the electrical wires. They continue and make another jump, and again one last jump. Then up a ladder, where they drop into a cage and wait until all players have gone their turn. Once all 3 players have successfully crossed the track, the second phase begins. There are 3 doorways, with different numbers of sandbags in front of each. These correlate with first, second, or third place positioning from the first phase. Inside are 3 cooking stations. And outside, all around the challenge area, are bird nests, some with eggs inside of them. Contestants must collect 20 eggs in total. These purple squares all around the cooking area are chests. Some of them contain bottled water, and here too, they must collect 20 of them. When a player has 20 eggs and 20 bottles of water, they can then proceed to their cooking station, where they can create 20 boiled eggs. Once they have their 20 boiled eggs, they need to quickly make their way back to the challenge platform, once again battling the obstacle track, and finally place their 20 eggs inside their chest. The contestant who puts 20 boiled eggs in their chest first wins the challenge. Before we begin this challenge, if a player has any perks that they would like to use, this is the only time they are able to do so until the next challenge. Both Glass and Whiskey each have a perk, so let's hear the players and see what happens.
Do you guys want to discuss it? I mean, I decided to share it since it's one that
What does it
helps
do
everybody.
again?
It provides a map, the web map. I feel like if it uncovers the whole map and everything, maybe it'll help us out at the beginning.
It's up to you. It's your perk. You decide
mean,
what you want to do.
I wanted to share it with the team. We're
I'm
a
down.
team still.
I'm down if you. Yeah, I'm down if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'm either way.
I'll share.
Whiskey has decided to play her perk, the baseball bat. But Glass Sandwich has decided to keep his for later. What the baseball bat does is enable the web map for all players for one game stage following this challenge. The web map is not part of the actual in-game map, but rather they'll be able to see the entire world and locations of the other players using a web browser. This doesn't really matter to us, the viewers, other than knowing that the players will be able to track each other in the upcoming Outcast stage, as normally the Outcast and Alliance team are unable to track each other on their maps. It's still not a very convenient perk for the players. They will have to have a web browser open and be logged into the web map in order to see the others. This perk has no effect right now, and will be activated by the admin at the start of the next game stage. This will last until the end of that stage, so for one full in-game day. And now, let's begin the challenge. First up is Glass Sandwich. And off he goes. Now there is barbed wire on the walls to the sides, and as Glass drops down, he's going to be taking a bit of damage, it seems. He's trying to avoid touching the trigger plates on the sides of the wall, because if he does, he will drop back down and have to go back while only being able to walk slowly, losing precious time.
It's okay, Glass. You can fall. Don't worry about it.
There we go, finally. Let's throw a stone at him at least.
Can we throw stones?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Let me test it.
And it looks like he's going to be making the jump over the spinning blade trap without taking any damage. Great jump over the trigger plate. No dart was shot. Tricky jump coming up. But it's not a problem for Glass Sandwich. He easily makes the jumps on the yellow frames. He avoids touching any of the electric wire as well. He's doing a great job so far. Just 2 easy jumps ahead. And there it is. He gets the last jump done correctly, and he's heading up the final ladder.
I'm in.
He's going to be dropping into the cage with a time of 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Really impressive job here from Glass Sandwich. Up next on the obstacle track is Whiskey. And off she goes, easily making the very first jump. She is wasting no time whatsoever, and she's already made it through the first area without touching a single trigger plate. Looks like she jumps over the spinning blade trap and the trigger plate. Compared to Glass Sandwich, she is making much better time. I'm curious if Glass Sandwich is a little worried about this. Perhaps he was a little too cautious. Looks like here she's avoiding all of the electrical wires once again. This track is not a problem for her. and she comes in at a time of 1 minute and 21 seconds. That is over twice as fast as Glass Sandwich, at 3 minutes and 8 seconds for him. I don't know what happened there. Up next is Lotus. Oh no, that's really unfortunate. Looks like Lotus's jump did not register and he's gonna be falling to his death right away. On his second attempt here now. Will he be able to make this first jump? And no. Looks like his jumps are just not registering. Here on his third try, the admin's going to be giving him a little bit of extra time for his lag to improve. And there we go. He makes the very first jump. And then he follows that up by falling straight to his death.
I don't know what to do.
You can do it.
He was rushing that area a little bit. I mean, even Whiskey, as fast as she went, took that much slower in comparison. Oh, it's really unfortunate to watch. That had to have been some sort of lag spike going on. It just looks like he's not getting these jumps in properly. The admins have given him another chance for his lag spikes to recover a little bit. First jump, and he makes it with no problem. Once again, Lotus moving very, very quickly. He gets through it without a problem. And slipping off of the side like that. You need to be very careful. You have to move perfectly straight in this section to avoid falling off the edge. Coming up on the 6th try for Lotus.
Don't fall.
And we're back at it. His jumps just aren't making it, it seems. You have to start wondering, is this lag or is he just not being able to do it? Well, lucky number 7, as everybody says. And here we go. He's through that area. He's moving much slower, I've noticed. He's really taking his time now to make sure that before he makes a move, he's confident in his decisions. And we heard the sound of the blades scraping him, but luckily it didn't cause any damage. Looks like the dart missed him, and it was obvious that he lagged a little bit there, but it doesn't look like that really impacted anything. Very good work from Lotus so far, but here comes the electrical wires. Ooh, the jump did not register once again. Now he's not dead, but he's losing some significant health here. He's going to take a moment to heal before continuing on. It's interesting to note that even though he's died so many times already, his time technically is still lower than Glass Sandwich's. He's waiting for a moment for his health to go up before continuing. He's gonna have to pick it up a little bit here. He's still a minute ahead of Glass, but he needs to get moving soon. Now what happened here is just a really unfortunate error. He's tried to make a shortcut and it just did not play out for him. He's losing time and now he's losing even more health. Just 2 jumps left, Lotus. Very good first jump. Can he make the second though? And there he goes, making it all the way through.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah!
I'm incredibly surprised he's come in second place for the segment of the challenge with a time of 2 minutes and 57 seconds, which is faster than Glass Sandwich. Remember, Glass Sandwich didn't take any deaths during his run, but his time was just so high. We're gonna have to see how the rest of this plays out, moving into the second segment of this challenge. As the second phase of this challenge begins, the players have placed their bedrolls. Now, if they die, this cage is where they will spawn in. From here on, it's an open challenge, meaning there's no particular order to do anything. Whoever gets back and puts 20 boiled eggs inside of their chest first will win the challenge. And they are off. Glass and Lotus are going straight for their sandbags first. Whiskey is going to skip removing her sandbags for now and is going straight for the bird nests. I think this makes sense for Whiskey's strategy considering she has the least amount of sandbags to worry about, but we'll have to see how this plays out in the end. Finding eggs is going to take longer than it is to find water. Glass and Lotus have both opted to look for the water first, so once again it looks like 2 separate directions contestants are going in. Hoping to get some good eggs out of here. And look at this, 15 bird eggs in one single nest. It's actually important to note that this is the only bird nest with 15 eggs in the entire arena, and she found it. Meanwhile, Glass is not even bothering to check what's inside of his chest. It looks like he's fast at looting and grabbing everything. Lotus is choosing to first break the chest and then pick up what is being dropped. That's gonna be wasting a lot of time compared to just opening up the chest. Moving back to Whiskey here, continuing to search for eggs. And she finds another big nest, this time containing 11 eggs. She has all the eggs she needs. She is now heading back to collect water. Glass has more water than he needs. He is now going to look for some eggs.
So is 56 water good?
Did you just steal all the water?
Where are these eggs at? They're out here then? They're all empty. Four in a row, empty.
Whiskey has all of her 20 eggs and her water now, and she's breaking out her one sandbag. She begins cooking her 20 boiled eggs, and now it's just a waiting game for Whiskey. Meanwhile, Glass and Lotus are still searching. Now, there are plenty of bird nests all around the challenge area, but Whiskey found all of the big bird nests first. She also managed to grab the nearest ones closest to the arena, which was a smart move in the end, it seems. It looks like her strategy is going to pay off. Lotus is deciding to boil the eggs he currently has, despite being short on eggs. I think this is actually a smart decision on his part. He's getting what he has cooking now, and then he's going to be able to go out, continue searching, and just drop them in when he's ready and found them. However, Glass is pretty close to finding all of his 20 eggs, so It might make his job a little harder during the searching. Moving back, Lotus has decided to continue looking for eggs while his fire pit is running and boiling his other eggs, which, again, very smart decision. Glass has found all 20 of his eggs and water, and he's going to be heading over to start his fire pit and boil his eggs. And now with all 3 players boiling their eggs, it's going to be on the obstacle course section to figure out who's going to win this thing.
Can I take the pot with me when I'm done in the wood too?
Kind of like I did Glass's stuff. You're welcome. Saved my life. Get out of my fire, Glass.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, I thought Lotus would have used this time while his eggs were boiling to, maybe go out and continue searching and just get what he has going now. But he's just been sitting there waiting, and I'm really confused as to what his strategy is, what his plan is, what he's thinking, because this doesn't make any sense to me personally. But all 3 players are just waiting now, so we'll have to see what happens here. As Whiskey was the first to get all of her boiled eggs going, it looks like she's going to be the very first one to take the obstacle course. She has to do the whole thing in reverse. Going back on this track, it should be just as easy, but it's not identical, so it's best to take it slower. Coming up on the very first jump, and she takes it running full speed with no problem. She's handling these jumps very well. All right, she's on the electrical wires now. Again, it's very dangerous. You have to make sure. Look, exactly there.
No!
She hits the wires. She's taking a lot of damage. She's stuck. She's moving slow. It seems she's taking a moment.
I don't know how the heck you cooked those eggs so quick.
I found the eggs quickly.
Oh no.
Heartbreaking loss there for Whiskey. That is going to be Whiskey's 5th death in this competition so far.
Three more eggs.
She's going to be starting all the way from the very beginning again. Meanwhile, Glass Sandwich has finished boiling all of the eggs he needs and is ready to continue on.
No, I just jumped into the hole.
She just took that way too quick. Her jump was way too early, and it cost her in the end. Glass Sandwich on the ladder section. He's taking it much slower than Whiskey, just going down the ladder rather than opting to jump down.
No. My legs.
Whiskey slips off of the edge of the pipe and is on the cliffside now. And Lotus is doing the obstacle course? I don't know what Lotus was thinking there. I'm very confused.
Okay, this is not gonna work. My legs are broken.
I don't think Lotus has collected all of his necessary eggs, so I don't know why he's going out onto the obstacle course.
Oh god, my game stuttered when I jumped. It scared me.
Lotus is returning to his campfire, and yeah, he doesn't have all of his necessary boiled eggs, so I really don't know what he was thinking there. But meanwhile, with Glass Sandwich, it looks like he's getting close to the dart section. While he prepares to do that jump, Whiskey is returning to the obstacle course. Making it through the dart and the spinning blade without taking too much damage.
Ouch.
He is near the home stretch. He could win this whole challenge right here.
No, I can't jump with the broken leg.
Whiskey trying to get back on the course, just looks like she misses the first jump yet again. It's gotta be annoying for Whiskey, especially considering she was in first place for so long. Glass Sandwich is towards the very end of the obstacle course here. He's on his last jump. If he makes this, he will win the challenge.
Ah!
Oh, he's just barely short on the jump.
Yay!
I don't know why I was running slow. I don't know what was happening.
That is Glass Sandwich's very first death in this competition, and it's so depressing to watch because that was right at the end of the challenge. Meanwhile, checking back in with Lotus, he's still searching for all the necessary ingredients to make his boiled eggs. Now with Glass Sandwich failing the jump, he has to restart the obstacle course, which means Whiskey is back in first place.
God.
And it looks like it's going to stay that way, at least for a little bit, as Glass Sandwich misses the first jump.
It's not good.
This is the furthest Whiskey has made it in a while. Once again, it appears Lotus has entered the obstacle course, and it seems he was just a little impatient there and bumped into Glass Sandwich, causing him to fall off the edge. That is another reckless death from Lotus, hitting 13. I think he feels a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable with the track now that he's done it so many times. Well, not confident and comfortable enough, it seems, as he takes another long fall down to the ground. Meanwhile, Whiskey is very close to the end of the obstacle course. This is the home stretch. If Whiskey manages to make this jump, she will be the winner of the first challenge in Trails of Survival.
What?
Once again, it looks like people are just jumping way too early with Whiskey barely missing the edge of the beam. Glass Sandwich is making good progress so far, but Whiskey is returning to the track. Meanwhile, Lotus is still trying to get all of his boiled eggs. Looks like she'll be starting over as she misses the first jump yet again. Checking back in with Glass Sandwich, he's close to the end of the obstacle course once again. He's taking his time here. He really wants to make sure that this time he doesn't screw it up. Coming up on the final jump for Glass Sandwich. Will he win the whole challenge here? He's really hesitant about this. He's making sure that he has this down pat before he does it.
What the f?
Looks like he just wasn't sure enough because that jump once again was too early.
Whiskey, whiskey.
That does not help.
I wonder if it's a mix between, nerves getting to them and maybe that jump just really is tricky, but Whiskey and Glass Sandwich have been having a lot of trouble with that jump. But with Glass Sandwich's failure, Whiskey retakes first place here. Making her way up the red slab, she's approaching the dart section. Meanwhile, Glass Sandwich makes the very first jump on his new attempt, and he's charging forward real quick here. Maybe his jump just didn't even come out. Maybe there was some lag issues there as well, but I don't know. That's disappointing to witness. He is feeling the pressure now. The nerves are clearly getting to him. He probably didn't expect Whiskey to put up such a fight in this challenge. But Whiskey is charging forward fast. Meanwhile, checking in with Lotus, he's still searching for all of the ingredients he needs for those boiled eggs. She's approaching the final jump yet again, and you can tell that they're all taking this very seriously. They've made these mistakes before. They don't want it to happen again. She's really eyeing out the jump, trying to get an angle on things and figure out what the best strategy is. Here comes the jump. And just short again.
No, I can't make that jump.
that will be another death for Whiskey, and she's going to have to start the obstacle course all over again. The back and forth continues between Glass Sandwich and Whiskey as Glass Sandwich approaches the spinning blade section. He took a little bit of damage, but he continues on. And he's approaching the end of the obstacle course as well. Will this be the magical moment where he makes it? Lotus is still searching for more eggs. Glass Sandwich approaching the final jump. And he makes it!
Made it.
Glass Sandwich makes the final jump, and he's gonna plop his 20 eggs right into his chest. He is the very first winner of Trails of Survival's challenges. Congratulations to Glass Sandwich.
I was pretty confident up to the point where I boiled the eggs and I was the first one to be on the track. But then I fell, and then I thought, okay, this is it. However, after Glass fell a couple of times, I was like, okay, I have a chance. I actually felt really confident up to that last jump. I even took a long break and I was like, okay, I'll make it. And that did not happen.
All right, everyone. It is time for the winner of the challenge, Glass Sandwich, to choose the outcast. Before he makes his decision, the others will have an opportunity to plead their case. Let's listen in and see what happens.
I think I can help you level up a lot quicker, so you should keep me as your ally.
Okay. I wouldn't need help leveling because I'm gonna get 10 levels, so that doesn't help me.
Ooh. Okay.
I think you shouldn't send me because I'm the worst player here, so... She should have beat you, Glass. You have a real competitor in Whiskey, and I think you're actually gonna lose at the end if it's you and Whiskey. That's my opinion.
Okay, you had a better argument than Whiskey, but I don't think I want Whiskey to go into the isolation, because that would mean she's free to go anywhere, loot anywhere.
Wow.
And she's good at that.
She's a good looter.
So my decision is based off of both of your behaviors towards me. Lotus, you didn't really seem to care about my well-being. Whiskey, you did actually help me and we traded. So because of that, I'm sending you out, Whiskey.
What?
Oh!
Wow.
Wow, he just did a 180. Oh,
I know. It's all good. I didn't want to be caged.
So Lotus, I'm gonna be grooming you, and you're gonna be a better fighter.
yes. Teach me your ways, Obi-Wan.
I would not have played the perk if I had known that he was gonna kick me out, because this means that they're going to know where I am. So definitely having him choose Lotus over me, it was something that will hurt me in the end because I did decide to play that perk.
After I thought about it, I think it's better to have her do her own thing and distance myself. Then she can't see how I actually play, and she gets less information from me, and that gives me a chance to help out Lotus. I think she's gonna really not forget that.
Looking at it from his perspective, I think taking me as an ally would have worked on his favor and not so much on mine. But I like the results. It works to my advantage. Because now that the game is not quite as hard yet, I get a chance to work on my own.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion of episode 1. That was quite the back and forth between Glass and Whiskey. It almost looked like Whiskey had the win, but unfortunately, she fell, and Glass, with his slow and steady approach, managed to take the win. Now we can see he has a nice lead over Whiskey and Lotus, with his 10 extra levels making his character stronger and faster. He had no deaths during the Harmony stage, so all of his current 5 deaths were caused by the Owl's track. Whiskey playing her perk before Glass chose her as the outcast. It means in the upcoming outcast stage, her location will be revealed to the other 2, and hiding won't be an option. If Lotus or Glass decide they want to take a shot at her, there's nothing stopping them from finding her. On the other hand, the same applies the other way. If Whiskey wanted, she would have no problem finding out where Lotus or Glass are. Lotus was most likely intentionally not progressing to minimize any further deaths. He died 6 times just trying to get to the second phase of the challenge, and so probably was trying to lose the challenge. We can only surmise that he was attempting to lose the challenge to save on the amount of deaths he has, but unfortunately, we'll never really know. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. I am Beaver, your host of Trails of Survival. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in episode 2.